it's also a lot about Israel and a lot about Salonika, the Salonika that was and Thessaloniki that is today. So and it has romance and mystery. So yes, I hope so.
It's an amazing coincidence because this broadcast actually is coming from Netanya in Israel, and Netanya is also featured in your book, isn't it?
Right. It's very central to the Israeli plot.
The book immediately grabs the reader's attention. A missing child, an experience most parents have had.
Yes, and people say that you write about, something that's deep in your subconscious. And many, many, many years ago, we were in a sort of a little resort part outside of Port Elizabeth, and we were having a picnic there. And my little boy, he was about 3 at the time, and he actually did this quite often. It wasn't only once that it happened. He sort of went missing for about a half an hour. It was sort of a time they were talking about people who were kidnapping children, and we were at a place where there was a sea and a lagoon and miles of sand, and we didn't know where to look first. And for about half an hour he went missing, and I felt myself go grey.
Yes,
I felt myself go grey. And when my husband found him, he said, "Amir, where were you?"
Yes.
And he said, "Abba, I was looking and looking for you." And actually I wrote that.
Yes.
The little girl said, "I was looking and looking for you."
Yes.
So yes, I think it is.
One of my experiences, oh my gosh, I'll never forget this. We were in Yerushalayim, I think this was maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and my youngest son disappeared from me by the kotel. And the kotel was very, very, very busy. And 1 minute my son was by my side, and the next minute gone. And for maybe 30 minutes, it was.
Yes. It's unbelievable.
So immediately your book, it was just amazing, because we want to read more. We want to turn those pages over quickly to find out, but also then we can relate to our own experiences. So it's fantastic when the book like yours just immediately, gets to the centre of the core and grabs the attention. Because there's some books where after the first paragraph you just want to give up, but your book, definitely not. Well, what was also interesting was this year is the 70th anniversary of the Jewish uprising in the Warsaw Ghetto. And in your book, there's also about the Jewish resistance in wartime Greece.
I'm sorry that people don't know more about this, because
about Jewish resistance.
So that it should be spoken about, and heroic and martyrdom, really martyrdom.
Yes, because it's very, very important, I think, to put into the public domain that there was Jewish resistance during the Holocaust.
Yes, I feel that too. I know that in the early years of Israel, when people had just come out of the Shoah, the local Israeli people did not want to hear about how people just went like lambs to the slaughter. They couldn't actually fathom it. Perhaps people from Chutz La'aretz, from outside Israel, can understand a world where the police aren't for you, the police are against you, the law is against you, everybody's against you, and you feel so helpless.
Yes.
And but it is good to see that there are people who were really, really brave and heroic. I did hope that the general public, people who are not Jewish, might also enjoy, might also pick it up, that it's not necessarily only for a Jewish audience.
I'm so pleased you came up with this, because what I wanted to ask you, Ribbons for the Hair can be described as a kosher read, can the non-Jewish reader appreciate the kosher values in the book?
I believe that a lot of people, perhaps it's only people my age,
and my age too,
actually do enjoy that. They enjoy a book that doesn't have too much smut in, that is a bit elevating, that you don't feel sort of afterwards that, you know, it's sort of like a TV program and a movie. And sometimes after a movie you feel, wow, that was inspirational, that was just so good, or it was just so pleasant. And sometimes you can watch half an hour and you just feel,
I think these books, Ribbons for the Hair, are so important because, you know, people like to switch off for a little while, and there is so much material that's not suitable to watch or to read out there, and I think you're doing a great service to the community by producing books like this. Can I ask you, where did you make Aliyah from?
I'm from South Africa. Yes, we're born and bred South African from a city called Port Elizabeth by the sea, from a lovely kahela there. Small kahela, but very, very special.
So would you say your experiences of settling in Israel made it easier for you to create the plots for this book?
Perhaps. It's always hard. It's always hard wherever you are to find the plot. I think this book, Ribbons for Their Hair, has two parts to it. The one is modern day Israel, and that being here made it very much easier for me to express and describe my experiences, our experiences. Yes, the other side, the Salonika side, I had to really research, and I had to go and visit Greece and spend time there and get a feel of what Salonika is about. I sort of work with the characters and the plot at the same time, so to speak.
Because we certainly get attached to the characters in this book. We feel for them all the way.
I'm very glad to hear that, because that's very, very much what I wanted. I think I felt quite passionate about my characters, and I'm so glad to hear that there's an empathy there.
Absolutely,
there's an empathy.
In fact, both my wife and I read this book, and my wife described Ribbons for Their Hair as this. She says, Ribbons for Their Hair is like a jigsaw puzzle. As one turns over the pages, slowly, the pieces fall into place, or sometimes they don't, which adds to the intrigue.
So nice. Please tell your wife thank you so much. Thank you. That's a lovely way of describing it.
But both my wife and I, we really did enjoy the book. I read it on the plane coming to Israel, and I found it a very, very, I hate to use this word, entertaining, but it was entertaining.
Yes, I'm glad, because I'm glad. I wanted it to be a little bit, you know, to hold the reader and to have an entertainment value, and to not as such be too didactic, to be a story that one could enjoy and be part of.
I think the book is, everybody will find something in that book, I think, Estelle. Certainly my family did, and if we did, I'm sure all the viewers watching this video will also enjoy Ribbons for Their Hair, published by Geffen and Estelle Chasen. Thank you ever so much for joining Jewish Online Magazine.
It's really been my pleasure, and I'm very grateful to you, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.